Yes, I firmly believe in God.
I don't think so. It's a tough question.
No, I don't believe in God. I wasn't raised in any kind of religious manner, and I don't believe that there's a higher power or higher being. I think that this is a control structure. I believe in elements of magic or certain scientific knowledges that maybe can't be explained, but not in a God.
Yes, I do. I don't believe in, yeah, I do.
I didn't grow up with any religion, so the God that I believe in isn't based in any religion. It's more like a feeling that I get when coincidences happen, or it's like, for me, God is in the details, and it's not, I don't normally call it God. It'll be like, basically God is anytime I have perspective on the universe. It's like, there's a solar system, there are plants that just grow, like there's magic that's keeping everything chugging along, and I must be part of that magic.
God does not exist in my world. God does not exist in my world. Most people would like to believe that there's this other higher being that's giving them this pleasure and this astonishment. But for me, it's rather more about you. It isn't about God, because there is no God. God doesn't exist. I mean, God exists in the ordinary world. It doesn't exist in my world.
I believe in fate and kind of destiny, and like that there's kind of something that's set out. There's some sort of path that's set out, but that's subject to fail or to change, or that, there's not a specific, like, oh, I'm going to end up here. That's kind of...
Wow, there's like this huge spider kind of going across the window right now. And it's like, do I believe in God? As she contemplates the spider levitating. I think that there's definitely, I don't know if I'd use that word, but I feel as though that there's something larger than I am. Whether that's God per se, I don't know. I know that, like, when my father was sick, I prayed to God that he would be okay, and then that didn't work out, and then, like, my big retaliation, it's very grumpy and very Dawson's Creek, but I'm like, that's it, I don't believe in God anymore, and I really kind of, I don't, in that way, like, I don't believe in a conscious God. I don't believe in a God that, like, kind of knows what's going on or even cares about, people in that way. But I wish I did, because I feel, there are so many occasions in my life where I'm like, if I believed in God, this would just be easier. I would just, like, feel less anxious all of the time. So I believe in Xanax. I believe in Valium. I believe in a nice stiff shot of something every once in a while, but God, no. It's not as easily prescribed.
Yes, I believe in God. I believe, I believe in God.
Yeah, that's a nice question. It's a bold question. And Jesus is my man. But going to Mexico City gets you in touch with Jesus also, I think, in some ways. You go to the churches there and you see full three-dimensional, life-size representations of him. Really bloody and really, really gothically bloody. And that just helped to be able to connect with him, that it was a three-dimensional mannequin.
In a biblical sense, no. But I guess I don't believe in institutionalized religion. As far as a concept of God or a higher being or a higher spiritual power or anything like that, I'm not sure. I bounce back and forth between the idea that maybe this is just a fleeting thing and we're all just kind of lucky in the regard that we get to experience it and be a part of it. But there's also the side of me, maybe it's a pessimistic side or maybe it's an optimistic side, I'm not sure, but the one that says that this is all we get, you know, and there's no reason for it, and it is just a fluke, and in a non-godlike sense, we're blessed, and we should make the most of what we get. I want to believe in God. I want to believe in a God, and not necessarily man's version of that, I guess. Not to sound pompous, but I just don't know if I do. I guess I'm torn on that one.
Yeah, but not a specific one. There's something. I don't believe that there's nothing. Let's put it that way.
No. I don't think about it. I don't think about my existence or the need for some higher being. I mean, maybe I will at some point in my life, but I don't do it really right now.
Maybe. In some sense, not a God, maybe. More like a God of plans and stuff. I don't think it's a very just God, but I think there's some kind of something doing something, maybe more of an unseen force, but I don't think it necessarily comes in to daily interactions or is listening to, you know, like one student's plea to like pass a science test. I don't think there's a God that can really spend its time with shit like that, like all the time. It just seems like a waste of its time. But in terms of like sunsets and I don't know, other things sometimes. But then other times I don't think that. I don't know, it's just probably pretty busy because it's always doing other things. I think it's kind of just spread thin like a blanket, a force field blanket or something. I don't know. Like, I think I kind of like the idea of Buddhas. No, I don't believe in an organized religion, but kind of Buddha and those kind of just meditative and just, you know, like Buddha isn't doing anything or decreeing anything. Buddha's just kind of there. Buddhism is just kind of calm and meditative and peaceful.
Yeah, I do. I believe there's one God. It's in three persons. I believe in Jesus and the Holy Spirit and God all in one. The Trinity.